What's up, everybody? As most of us know, Dragon Ball Heroes brings us some pretty zany scenarios. Super Dragon Ball Heroes is no exception. But in my opinion, one of the lesser crazy stories it's birthed is the Dark Demon Realm saga. The story serves as kind of a prequel to both the Xenoverse games and the Universe mission arc, but for storylines that don't really follow any sense of canon anyway, don't take that too seriously. Trunks wakes up in an unknown realm, unknown to him at least, when the Supreme Kai of Time comes furiously rushing after him, calling him an idiot and taking a swing, and miss. She faceplants to the ground. Teary-eyed, she asks Trunks, "How dare you go around messing with time?" She also explains that the situation is so unprecedented, even she doesn't know how to go about handling this. The young, or 30-something-year-old now, time traveler can't even get a single word out before being cut off by the Kaioshin, who tells him, "Oh no, there's no explaining your way out of this one," then pulling out a scroll claiming to have proof. The scroll reveals what she says is a realm she has never seen before in history, demanding to know what he plans to do in creating such a place. Smacking him around a bit, she also demands to know his overall goal and for him to turn himself in. Trunks is of course completely oblivious to everything going on, quickly convincing her of this ignorance. The Supreme Kai of Time starts to freak out knowing someone else is screwing with time too. That's when Trunks finally asks what this place is. This realm is known as the Time Nest, a place where they watch over the flow of time. She acts as the Kaioshin of time, while Toki Toki, the bird, moves time. Both guard over time itself as a pair. She just so happened to catch Trunks trying to manipulate time, so she pulled him here in the midst of it. The idea of time travel being a taboo surprises Trunks. I guess when you've done something seemingly harmless for so long, it kind of loses its impact. Or there's no Beerus where he comes from. The Supreme Kai of Time tells him that even the smallest change can completely alter history, which I guess we've seen in its own way. Trunks apologizes for any problems he may have caused. Putting him aside, the Kaioshin says that if he didn't create this new place, she needs to find out quickly who did. That's when he requests her to take him there with her, trying to make up for his unknowing mistakes. While she seems unsure, a voice comes from above saying they believe Trunks to be telling the truth, as there is no evil sensed within him. So, easily enough, Trunks gets a new getup, the Supreme Kai dubs them the Time Patrol, and we're off to the Demon Realm. The Supreme Kai of, Cronoa. We're calling her Cronoa now. Saying the Supreme Kai of Time over and over again is a mouthful. Anyway, she peeks around a corner to find some familiar faces. Toa, Mira, and our not-so-fan-favorite mask-wearing adversary. That's totally not Bardock, by the way. Behind a strange machine, Toa says that even being near it, she can feel its immense power. The power of the spirit energy Kiri. They only have to gather a little bit more until they're completely free, then telling Mira to enter a Terran space-time to battle even more powerful warriors through history. This appears to be how they harness this Kiri. Cronoa announces her presence, confidently shouting, "We're the Time Patrol, and we're here to bring you to justice for messing with time." As the villains look back at her awkwardly, she tells Trunks that he needs to make a cool pose too, otherwise she'll just look totally lame. Toa finds the idea of a Kai that bears dominion over time interesting, as Mira fires at him. But as Trunks is there to neutralize the attack, not Bardock rushes him, catching him off guard and launching them both a good distance away. Toa tells Mira to work together to take them both down, when Mira realizes he can't move his body. Cronoa announces that she's frozen the time around them, making movement impossible. Right as she's feeling confident, Trunks comes back, a little bloodied up, but hanging in there, as the masked warrior is a lot stronger than he thought. Getting serious, Trunks decides to turn on Super Saiyan, but continues to struggle. With Trunks breaking the mask, Cronoa believes the battle is won, but Mira has other things in mind. Feeling disgraced and humiliated in front of Toa, his creator, he bulks up, breaking the time freeze. He charges Trunks before being intercepted by Bardock, who says he feels like he's finally woken up. Toa says to herself that it appears that he's broken free from the mind control, which Cronoa overhears. Bardock apologizes to Trunks for any trouble he caused while under their control, who's caught up daydreaming about the similarities between this man and Goku, before being told to pay attention. Mira's not done yet. They seem to overpower him as Mira falls to a knee and apologizes to his master. But Toa tells him not to worry, as it was a great battle that gathered plenty of Kiri, and now it's time to leave. Cronoa goes to stop them, but Toa has a few tricks up her sleeve. As they disappear, she tells our heroes that they will understand everything soon enough when the Dark Demon Realm is released, something Toa believes to be of interest to the Supreme Kai of Time. With the villains gone and there's seemingly no clues left to be discovered, they decide it's probably best to return to the Time Nest. Bardock says that he would help, but he doesn't remember a thing about what's happened. Trunks tells him not to worry, but can't help but ask him if he has a son named Goku or Kakarot. Of course, this is interfering with time, which Klonoa takes exception to, and tells him that they're leaving, now! While dragging him away, she also tells Bardock that she plans to overlook his involvement with all of this, so he needs to just forget what he saw here today. While Trunks humorously tries to fuel his historical curiosity, Klonoa continues to scold him as Bardock can only smirk and turn away, to venture into a world he's completely unfamiliar with. Something it seems Klonoa may have overlooked. Shouting from the Time Nest, the aforementioned Kaioshin still doesn't know what's going on, knowing they can't just leave that place the way it is. She also doesn't know how to go about catching Toa and Mira, not to mention the possibility of this oncoming Dark Demon Realm. In the middle of her shouting, Trunks asks her to elaborate on what the Dark Demon Realm is exactly. Trying to keep it simple, she says there's a space where an army of evil sorcerers were imprisoned. The Dark Demon Realm is the world built by those same sorcerers. There have been reports of entities leaving the Demon Realm before, but not this far. Eavesdropping, a voice says from behind, "Evil? That's quite a way of putting it." Turning around to see Demi-Gra, Klonoa explains that he was supposed to have been sealed away from space-time and demands to know how and why he is in the Time Nest, further asking what his friend Toa plans to do in releasing the Demon Realm. Demi-Gra says the word friend is a bit of an inaccuracy, as his days of serving her are long gone. Also, he has no interest in the Demon Realm. Instead, with the magic powers he's obtained over the years, he plans to conquer everything in this realm. That includes the bird Toki Toki and the control Klonoa has over time. As he goes to leave, she shouts for him to wait, but naturally, he doesn't comply. Klonoa can't believe that all the years he was imprisoned, all of these different factions have now formed. The situation is far worse than she had initially thought. Trunks wants to go after him, but Klonoa says they're far outmatched and believes it would be best just to send Trunks back to his own time. Toa, Mira, Demi-Gra, they're all ridiculously powerful, completely out of the ordinary. But Trunks says he's more than willing to step up to the challenge, saying that he'll just have to get stronger, as he can't just stand by and let this happen, showing just a tad of vulnerability. Klonoa tells him that if that's true, it would be rather difficult on her own. So she makes a formal request for his assistance once again, and to help with his training, she's going to summon the strongest warrior from his memories, his father, Goku. She summons Goku. In a strange realm, we see even stranger orbs. Toa shouts to the void, "Here is the energy we've gathered from strong fighters. Now revive and lead us once again," revealing the Dark King Mechikabura, who thanks Toa for her servitude, but says he's still unable to move as he'd like. But Toa has made preparations to fix this, revealing a Namekian holding a model dragon, which means he has the immediate ability to create a set of Dragon Balls. With this, the Dark Lord desires to regain his youth to take revenge on the Supreme Kai of Time. With no need to delay, the unnamed Namekian births his Dragon Balls as they scatter through the realm, telling Mechikabura they must first gather them in order to make his wish. Toa is greatly angered by this, as even she didn't know it was going to take such a daunting task, as she apologizes to her master. The Dark Lord remains undeterred as he's already found one of them. However, it'll be an even more enduring task than initially thought, as the balls have flown beyond space and time. But before retrieving them, Mechikabura would like to grant Toa a new power. The power of the demon gods. At the Time Nest, Klonoa is digging through scrolls looking for any possible errors in time, when Goku and Trunks shout for her attention. It's been 6 months since they were previously seen. Of course, it's only been 6 months for them, merely 3 days for everybody else, as Klonoa changed the flow of time in the room they were training in. Behind her, we see what she's been up to for the last 72 hours. Regardless, she says she's happy to see them as she's found another problem in history. Trunks asks if it's Toa and Mira again, but that's yet to be determined. Eager to begin the mission, she starts shoving the both of them. When Trunks confusedly asks if she's going too, she bites his head off, saying that after summoning the both of them, altering time so they can train, and staying up for the last 3 days checking scrolls, she's a bit tired and would like some sleep, so Goku and Trunks venture alone. Coming through the portal, we're taken to the moment in history where Frieza and Goku fight for the first time, but Frieza appears to have a Dragon Ball lodged in his chest, which is giving him a power boost. The two of them try to shake off the initial shock of what they're seeing. Resuming focus, they know they're here to stop history from changing. Trunks rushes in, striking Frieza, but it doesn't even faze him and he's just thrown aside like he's nothing. Goku's able to get him off guard, knocking him down, but not one to stay down. Frieza darts back. Goku, being Goku, is stoked at the sight of seeing another him. The both of them power up a Kamehameha, but as the attack approaches, Frieza bulks up, holding both waves at bay. Xenogoku is surprised at how much more powerful he's become, but just as their fight on Earth, Trunks isn't willing to just stand by and cuts Frieza in half, freeing the Dragon Ball in the process. As the Dark Dragon Ball rolls on the ground, Frieza's body falls dead. Naturally, Goku's disappointed in Trunks' interference as someone picks up the ball. Towa and Mira, of course. And Towa's undergone a change. Trunks goes after him, but Towa's able to take him down pretty easily. Goku asks who these two are, having not met them previously. Towa gloats at her newfound demon god strength and tells Mira that it's time to leave. Ever determined, Trunks says they're not getting away this time and vows to show them the result of his training and charges a Kamehameha. Mira springs into action but is only able to guard Towa from the blast and appears to be disintegrated by the attack. Furious, Towa says that he will pay for what he's done to Mira as she disappears from space-time. Heading back to the time nest, Frieza turns out to still be alive. Goku goes to finish him, surprisingly. But Trunks says that history is already back on course and they need not interfere. The Time Patrol heads back as the regular Goku is seen giving Frieza a bit of his own energy. Back wherever the Dark Lord resides, Towa delivers one of the Dragon Balls, as Mechikabura calls forth his demonic minions to search for the rest. Finding another error in time, Kranoa catches the attention of Goku and Trunks. She says, yeah, that's the case, but this time, we're gonna be splitting into teams. She's found irregularities in 2 different spots. Goku will go with her, but she's arranged for a new helper for Trunks. Vegeta comes walking down the stairs saying he won't forgive Goku for getting a head start of him. He refuses to sit idly by as Goku of all people continues to get stronger, comedically fearing for his well-being. He asks Kranoa if she by chance told him about bringing Goku here first because he was the strongest person in his memory. Did she? But the body language between the two of them tells us everything we need to know. Vegeta tells him never mind about all that. Just hurry up and send them to the point in history they need to be. Kranoa doesn't appreciate his attitude, telling him before she sends them anywhere, there's one thing she needs to teach him, and it's very important, so he needs to make sure to remember that they are the Time Patrol. And before they go on any new missions, they need to practice their poses together. Just hurry up and send us already! Kranoa comments to Trunks that his father is a little bit rude, and Trunks is pretty much like, yeah. The father and son pair make it through the portal as Vegeta throws the device back to Trunks, saying that it's from his mother. It's a new Dragon Radar based on what the Kaioshin told them. It'll be able to search out the new Dragon Balls. Just as they get a signal, they get caught up in a key explosion. Below, the Vegeta from this time hits the ground. Looking around, we also see the bodies of Krillin, Piccolo, and Gohan. Descending from the sky, Trunks holds his past father in his arms. When Vegeta yells at the shadowy figure who sell, "Leave those small fries alone! Come get a piece of me!" Turning around, we see he too has been infected by the Dragon Ball. Vegeta tells Trunks not to get in his way and rushes towards him. Capping off his onslaught with a final flash, Vegeta appears to be more than a match for Cell. He tells the decimated Bugman that he wasn't completely blown away, so it must mean he's gotten a little bit stronger. However, he vows this is the end for you. When some rando appears from out of nowhere and says, "You're the one who will be ending here," and sends Vegeta flying, Trunks runs out to catch him, but even with his help, they're both still sent backwards. This new creature says, "Did you see that, Poutine?" Putin? Poutine? Poutini? See, when you just read this stuff, it's kind of complicated. "All the power I have now that I am a demon god." Poutine responds with, yes, that's great, but now isn't the time to be playing around like that. Isn't that right, Gravy? She reminds them that they're only here to retrieve the Dark Dragon Ball quickly. As Vegeta and Trunks are pancaked on a rock formation, Trunks wonders if they're allies of Towa, and what crazy power this guy has to take out Vegeta in just one hit. And given that he can sense 2 of them, he wonders if he should use... Flashing back, we see Kranoa give Trunks a pair of Patara earrings. Knowing Vegeta will probably hate this idea, given he's a little unconscious, he has no choice. Trunks puts an earring on his ear and Vegeta's as well. So let me comment something right here, just for the sake of argument. When Shueisha goes to strike down this video, I can still argue fair use. This is what I wanted to happen in the future Trunks arc in Dragon Ball Super. While I thought it was cool they brought Vegeta back, I wanted to take more chances and create different things. Anyway, back to the story. The bad guys see an engulfing explosion behind them, as this new hero rushes them and sends one of them flying. Thinking back to what Kranoa said, this fusion will be named Vegex Zeno. Poutine makes the observation that the 2 of them must have merged, and Gravy says, whatever, I'll crush them either way. Vegex says aloud he doesn't like the idea of being fused, but destroying you will more than make up for it. While it appears he's pretty much able to manhandle his adversary, Poutine says, hold on, Gravy, our responsibility was to bring back the Dark Dragon Ball. Yeah, but Poutine, you can't expect me to run away while I'm being beaten like this? Coming around rather quickly, she says, understood. Plus, if we just ignore them, they'll probably interfere with our plans again sooner or later. So let's just erase them right now and then go back. But amidst all this conversation, it appears Poutine had a second sinister plan with the Dragon Ball, as it's manifesting into something horrible in the background. While Gravy and Poutine argue about who's going to fight, Cell begins to transform into Cell X, a gigantic, even buggier creature. Vejinx doesn't really know what to think of the monster, neither do the demons. Like the Ozaru, he doesn't seem to have lost much speed despite his size. Gravy sneaks up from behind and levels Vejinx down to the dirt. He laughs in joy at his own triumph. While not looking, Cell swats him like an insect. Angry and confused, he asks Poutine if that thing is even under her control, and it's not. She says that it's too powerful and she really can't do anything about it. At this point, it's just a mindless monster. Vejinx sneaks up himself, but his attack proves ineffective. While the others fight, Poutine takes a seat wondering how she's gonna get the Dragon Ball now. With Cell being the behemoth he is, it's gonna be quite the task. Taking a beating, Vejinx and Gravy decide they've had enough with Cell's brainless antics and form a very temporary alliance. With their joint attack, it seems Cell has been vanquished when the fusion unexpectedly runs out. Staring down our heroes, Gravy tells Poutine to grab the Dragon Ball while he finishes these guys off. As he raises his hammer, he says he's going to smash them into so many pieces there will be nothing left. But in an instant, both of them are gone. In another realm, Cronoa appears to have been their savior, saying that Gravy is pretty simple-minded, he probably won't even realize that he was caught in her time freeze. She rationalizes that since Cell has been defeated, history should be able to realign itself. Though I will note that it's interesting Cell apparently didn't kill a single one of the Z fighters, and we also have to wonder if Gohan even ever achieved Super Saiyan 2. Regardless, Cronoa furthers by saying losing the other Dragon Ball is a loss, but it's also something they can recover from. However, she and Goku are having some serious problems of their own. As Goku fights alone, Kid Buu acts like his normal crazy self, but like all of the others, has received a giant power boost. Cronoa left in order to call in reinforcements, in hopes Goku would be able to hold out until then. Unfortunately, it appears Buu isn't the only opponent at the moment. Soldiers surround what appears to be Deborah, catching Goku's eye. Interestingly enough, it appears Earth's savior isn't his first target as he comes barreling down on Buu, saying,
"This history's version of me must be thankful, for I finally get to have my way with you, Majin Buu."
Buu powers up going into a tirade, but Deborah is able to chop him in two. It seems like he doesn't know about his regenerative abilities. Turning to Goku, he states, "As for the Time Patrollers, they've become quite a nuisance as well. That too ends here. With the power he's obtained as a demon god, he will take Goku's head." Goku charges him, demanding he show some of that power. Deborah effortlessly dodges every blow. Using his sword, he sends out a powerful slash that destroys a nearby mountain, just missing Goku. The demon god tells him that was quite impressive, but before he can even finish the next sentence, Buu wraps himself around him, absorbing him, as his men can only watch helplessly. Taking on his powers, Boobora is born, which isn't the official name or anything, but Buhan, Bootanks, you get the idea. Goku is stunned at the ramifications, as Deborah's soldiers charge in hopes of saving their lord. After watching him slaughter the others, Goku knows this could spell a lot of trouble for him. Luckily, Trunks comes to the rescue. However, with everybody beaten up, it's uncertain how much help they'll really be. Cronoa congratulates Goku on being able to take out all of those soldiers on his own, but he has to tell her that wasn't him. Just as he says he's ready for the second round with Buu, Cronoa says she has a better idea as she removes her Pataras. While the idea disgusts Vegeta, he goes along with it while Trunks struggles to keep Buu busy, when a familiar voice tells him it's okay. I've got it from here. As Xeno Vegito reveals himself. Charges what could be a finishing move, but it's blocked by an unknown force. Almost appearing to be a child, they say they will be taking that Dragon Ball. Meanwhile, in a parallel history, it seems the Tree of Might has taken over an unfortunate realm, as a warrior spots a Saiyan lodged with a Dragon Ball and says, "So this is what the key of a Dark Dragon Ball feels like. I guess you'll be worth playing with, as I heard." When he's cut off by another who says, "Why don't we leave it up to him this time?" The warrior says, "Fine, go ahead, Lord Mechikabura." The Dark Lord looks on sinisterly and says, "This one seems like he'll make a good specimen for testing." A standoff ensues as Buu doesn't know what to make of this new person. Letting his nerves get the best of him, he attacks. But as the smoke clears, both of them are gone. Back at the Tree of Might, the Dark Lord wants to begin the test, telling Turles to hurry up and show them his power. Happy to oblige, the Dark Forces get ready and have the warrior known as the Dark Mask King be the one to administer the test. Coming at him, Turles' power quickly becomes evident, dodging the first punch. The second one comes close but only damages his armor, but the third launches him to the ground. Getting impatient, one of his henchmen tells Mechikabura that no matter how you look at it, this isn't even a real fight. The Dark Lord admits that it is a bit disappointing. The dust slowly clears as we see Turles with one of the fruits from the Tree of Might. Eating it, the Saiyan's power skyrockets. While this catches the Dark Lord's attention, his minion thinks Turles is getting all riled up for nothing. But her blood quickly runs cold as she senses an ominous key emitting from their test subject. No doubt an anomaly from the Dragon Ball. Gone mad, Turles plunges his hand into the dirt, kicking up a giant boulder. Revealing his henchman's name, Mechikabura says, "Salza, I'll leave this to you." As she shreds apart the big rock, hopping from platform to platform, she makes her way to Turles, kicking him from behind, but it may as well have been a mosquito bite given his new power. Skidding backwards, Salza admits he's tough. Mechikabura asks how much so, and she tells him that, while she hates to say it, he's absurdly stronger than she originally thought. Easily on the same level as a demon god, if not more so. The Dark Lord reaches out his hand and says that of all people, for Salza to say such a thing, that certainly is interesting. Having seen it for himself, Mechikabura says he is positive that with the power of the Dark DragonBallZ. But before he can finish his statement, Turles comes back at him as Salza tells her master to look out. Completely unwavered, Mechikabura unleashes an unbelievable attack. Finishing his sentence, he says he is positive that with the power of the Dark DragonBallZ, he could be completely restored. As the key wave dies down, literally nothing remains of Turles, except the Dragon Ball. Salza is frozen where she stands as the Dark Lord begins to walk away, patting the Masked King on the shoulder as he passes him. He says they've gathered some good data on how much power they need to put into their Dark Masked King. Reminding Salza that they're now leaving, she can't shake her state of shock, thinking this is the first time she's ever felt his power up close. Salza kneels before her Dark Lord as he comments that the Dark Masked King still doesn't have enough power. Now this all kind of leaves me to wonder, is the Dark Masked King an android? A zombie? Bardock again? Also, where did he go during this fight? Did he just lose all his energy and dip out? In another realm, Cronoa freaks out saying this is bad over and over again, and she can't believe they got away. Trunks tells her to calm down a bit, but she's in no mood to remain calm. At this rate, history will be totally ruined. Vegeta tells Goku that with that level of ki, it wouldn't be too surprising to find out that they opened a hole in space-time. Goku responds by telling him that he can't feel any energy coming from Buu or that red-haired guy, so it's possible that they're not even in the same timeline anymore, leaving the gang to wonder if he was one of the demon gods too. Trunks checks the radar but finds nothing of value. Then, a mysterious voice asks if they would like to know where their opponents went. As the heroes turn around, they find the red-haired guy. Trunks goes to draw his sword as Cronoa tells him to wait. She asks him, "What do you mean tell us where he is? What are you scheming?" "Scheming? Nothing in particular. Having you along would simply be convenient, that's all. I neither need or care about your trust. However, we may want to hurry. Hell is currently falling to ruin." Cronoa tells Goku and Vegeta to stay put for a minute while she tries to absorb the time from when they were injured. The downside is that she will take on the injuries herself. She tells them that once she does so, Trunks will accompany her back to the time nest. Then she wants Goku and Vegeta to go with the red-haired guy to face Majin Buu. In Hell, an alternate Goku meets an unfortunate fate as Towa and a newcomer face off against Janemba. The new guy asks if this is the one that absorbed Master Deborah, but Towa says no. However, it looks like he's one of their targets anyway. The newcomer relishes in the idea of a good fight, but summons what he calls his Grim Reaper soldier to pin him down. The soldier dives after him, but Janemba seems too powerful for him to control. The others realize this and figure it's close enough to what they were expecting. Using his scythe, he fires several projectiles at the both of them, cutting them in two. The soldier utters out, "Lord Shroom!" as the life fades from him. Shroom tells him, "Reaped souls don't talk." Sadistically, Shroom laughs out loud that getting to cut down obedient soldiers is the best. Towa expositionizes that the demon god Shroom, also known as the Grim Reaper, even among the demon gods, his erraticism stands out. She wonders if it was too dangerous to ask his help to save her brother Deborah after all. As most of us know, much like Buu, you can't simply chop up Janemba and expect him to die. As he rematerializes, now furious and sporting a few upgrades, Towa lets Shroom know that the ball in his chest gives him a significant power boost. Disregarding the warning, Shroom tries to cut him up once more. Whether luck or strategy, Shroom dislodges the ball from Janemba. But before Towa can retrieve it, a light engulfs the area as Goku and the others appear. The red hair guy tells Towa that he won't let her get that ball. The other demons recognize him and we find out his name is Kamel. Vegeta asks if he was working with them, but Kamel says that's not important. Towa asks what he's doing cooperating with the likes of them. Kamel tells her that it's simply convenient for the moment. For dealing with all of you. Towa, obviously hurt deep down by this, demands to know if he planned on betraying them this whole time. Shroom couldn't be less affected on the other hand, figuring it's just more people for him to take down. Kamel tells Vegeta and Goku to focus on the one with the scythe, but we all know Vegeta's not too keen on taking direction. Regardless, the fight begins. Amidst the chaos, it looks like a piece of Buu grabs the Dragon Ball as it's sucked into the air. The others completely forgot that he was even here. Holding it proudly, Buu also uses this opportunity to absorb the depleted Janemba as well. As the transformation ensues, Kamel shudders at the thought of yet another evolution, during which another hole in space-time opens. While this distracts Kamel, Shroom tries to get him off guard, but luckily he's able to block. He soon realizes that Goku has been brought to a knee. When asked what he's doing, Goku says he can't draw his power for some reason. That's when Shroom announces that's as expected, for he's reaped a bit of each of their souls. After all, he is the Reaper. One of his abilities is to harness energy from souls. Towa announces that she's going after Buu, which again, Shroom couldn't care less about. Irate, Kamel says for Vegeta and Goku to handle this somehow, as he doesn't want to let her get away. Goku says that he's fine with that plan, but asks him to buy him just 30 seconds as he wants time to fuse. And just as Vegeta fears, it is indeed the fusion dance this time. Shroom starts to attack again as Kamel tells them to fuse, don't fuse, either way, just deal with them. Otherwise, you're completely worthless to me. This insult obviously gets to Vegeta and he agrees to it. They quickly do the dance and Zeno Gogeta joins the fray, offering the immediately lame pun, "Come at me, dim Reaper." At the time nest, Cronoa wakes up from a much needed sleep after we see her banged up a bit after absorbing the Z-Fighter's injuries. Trunks asks her how she is and her spirits seem to be rather bright. In fact, she says she has even enough energy for their next task, but for that, she wants to call in one more person. Trunks comes out of the portal in a devastated timeline. Gohan, because who else would it be, says that this city and that ship sure bring back memories, taking in the idea they really have traveled in time. Trunks is just happy Cronoa chose him to be their next Time Patrol member. Gohan says he can sense their alternate selves in this realm, but their key signatures are very weak. On the bright side, this also means that everyone is alive. Trunks goes to search for the source of the change via the Dragon Radar, finding it fast, or rather it finding them fast. The enormous Lord Slug fires a mouth beam. Barely dodging, Gohan and Trunks take to the air, spotting the Dragon Ball easily. Gohan tells Trunks that he's got this one. Beginning to whistle, Trunks is just confused, but Slug is completely debilitated by this. As in the movie, Namekians are made completely powerless by the frequency a whistle makes. Gohan tells Trunks to go after the ball while he's hindered. Just as he goes to do so, dimensional portals appear all around them. Trunks yells for Gohan to watch out as Slug is massacred by a barrage of attacks. Then coming through the rip in space-time itself, Bunemba appears. From one of the portals, a voice says, "To think we'd keep finding Dragon Balls like this," as Towa appears as well, followed by Kamel. Panicked, Trunks asks him, "What are you doing here? What happened to Father and Goku?" Obviously, Kamel doesn't know or care. Towa looks at everything going on. The Time Patrol, Slug, Buu, Kamel. With all of this happening at once, it's sure going to be difficult to gather all the Dragon Balls and save her brother Deborah. So given that, she decides to change things up a bit, using her staff to afflict Slug with some kind of malevolent force, as it grows even larger in size. Towa notes that even while attacking the others, he seems to be moving the direction she'd like him to go, also telling herself that her efforts to study and improve on Poutine's power to control darkness seems to be paying off, with the odds better suited to her favor. She thinks now is the time to secure the two Dragon Balls and free her brother from Buu. Cooling off from the rampage, Gohan tells Kamel that he doesn't know who he is, but that barrier he used to protect them was really impressive. Naturally, Kamel shrugs this off as he had no desire to protect anyone but himself. As they think of a way to handle Slug, Gohan says he has another idea, telling Trunks the two of them should fuse. While I can't think of exactly where Gohan learned the fusion dance, Trunks says Goku walked him through the motions while they were training. Pulling it off, Gohanks is born. Noting they only have 30 minutes before the fusion wears off, he says they're gonna finish this all at once, firing dozens of blasts as he grabs his sword, cutting the behemoth. But it's no good as Slug returns fire. He's just too big and powerful to take on any damage. Out of nowhere, Salza joins and finds herself fighting Buu. Believing her body to still be adjusting to the full strength of a demon god, she tries to ready her mind as Buu remains up to his normal antics. But Towa is wise to his style by now. Just then, someone shoots at her from below. Kamel misses but takes her attention just long enough for Buu to sneak up. If not for Salza's interference, she would undoubtedly be dead. She asks the demon what she's doing here, but Salza only says for Towa to let her have this battle. Having been dishonored by Turles in front of the Dark Lord, she would like a sense of redemption. Using her tornado attack, she shreds Boo into pieces and even Slug is dragged to its center. This move was the perfect idea for releasing the Dragon Ball, and somehow, even Deborah is freed. Towa grabs all three of them while Kamel goes after Slug's ball, but Towa snatches that up as well and disappears. In the Dark Demon Realm, Gravy and Poutine report to their lord that Towa and Salza have not only retrieved 3 of the Dragon Balls, but rescued Deborah as well. Pleased, he tells his minions to have Towa see him upon her return, and have her bring one of those masks of hers as well, as he has a specific new experiment he would like to try, brainwashing one who has been possessed by a Dark Dragon Ball. Back in Hell, while Gogeta and Shroom go at it, Shroom gets a call from Gravy, telling him he has orders to return. Irritated, Shroom says he was just starting to have a little bit of fun, but Gravy isn't having any of this backtalk and yells at him to get back to the Dark Demon Realm right now. With the message loud and clear, he becomes complicit and asks him to open the portal for him. He's not so great at that space-time stuff. The portal opens above them. Both warriors sense an inconceivable key coming from within. Knowing the fusion is almost up, Gogeta works his way in to try to stop Shroom, but it's just a trick. As the fusion wears off, Goku is flung towards the portal. Shroom goes to stop him, but Vegeta is able to get a hold of him. Getting cocky, the prince tells the demon god that he alone is more than a match for the likes of you. Ever the smart aleck, Shroom thinks to himself that he knows he's gonna get chewed out for this. At the Dark Demon Realm Southeast Prison Complex, Broly appears to be on a rampage. The original Broly, of course. He has even achieved Super Saiyan 4 as Towa has trouble controlling him, even though he should be under the power of the mask. She comments that even with the Dark Dragon Ball, there's no way he should be this strong. The Dark Lord reaches his conclusion on the experiment. Some creatures are simply too powerful to be controlled, even though it has still been an enjoyable sight to behold. Goku enters shortly after. While the demons are infuriated by his presence, Mechikabura doesn't seem too affected. Goku states, "So, it was your key," looking towards Broly. Powering up further, he breaks off a piece of the mask, as the demons would rather focus on controlling him than capturing Goku at the moment. Paragus tries to use his control mechanism to bring him down, but is quickly sent back through the open portal. Salza comments that after all the trouble of brainwashing him, he just goes and gets himself knocked back out of space-time. The Dark Lord is once again unaffected by all of these developments, and asks the Dark King to go retrieve him, when Salza asks if they should go back up Towa, but Mechikabura objects, saying let's just enjoy the show for now. Broly pummels down Goku as Towa flanks him from behind, thinking how surprised she is to see the Time Patrol make it this far. And at all times, it'll actually work in their advantage for now, as Goku makes a great distraction. Towa puts all of her power into the brainwashing spell and unleashes it once again. But even this only results in her potential demise. Knocked down to the ground and drained of all her power, Towa drops out of her demon god form. The others comment on how her powers of darkness are actually leaking out of her body as an entity begins to form, Mira. The other demons react confused as everyone believed him to be dead, or as dead as a non-organic life form can be. Turning to his creator, it appears the darkness from within him combines with Towa herself. Broly goes to interfere but is stopped by the new fusion of Towa and Mira. As they battle it out, Goku picks himself from the dirt. Looking on, Salza wonders what he's up to, saying aloud, "Even though I promised Kaioshin I wouldn't use this, it's time to get serious," breaking out Super Saiyan 4 himself. The Dark Lord finds great interest in this transformation, even complimenting the Time Patrol and saying that all of them seem to be about the same power, wondering which one will survive this game. Instead of teaming up to take down Broly, it looks like a 3-player battle royale, each simultaneously firing a powerful blast. The Dark Lord can't help but relish in the results. The smoke clears and Broly remains standing, but not for long. The Dragon Ball and mask both fall from him. Zooming out a bit, we see Goku has fallen as well. Picking up the ball, Mira holds Towa as the victor. Meanwhile, we're brought back to Bardock's realm. He says he's returned after sensing a strange key. He then appears to drop the mask while wondering if it could be Towa and Mira again. Then something catches his attention. Not too far away, a battle ensues between Paragus and the Masked King. Paragus is disgusted he allowed himself to be controlled, thinking that if he's to get Broly back, he can't allow himself to be taken again, before vowing to end the Dark Masked King. Lucky for him, he's saved by Bardock, who mostly just attacked because he recognized the mask as the demon's calling card, calling it pathetic and promising to break it off the man's face. Paragus just wonders what Bardock is doing here. The warrior begins to laugh, asking, "Pathetic? Awfully full of yourself, aren't you, low-class Saiyan? Don't get the wrong idea. I wanted this power myself, so I could become the ultimate Saiyan King." In an interesting twist, King Vegeta is revealed to be the Dark Mask King in order to harness its power, claiming to have already gained control over its darkness. With this, the king plans to return to the era when Frieza drove the Saiyans to extinction and kill him with his own hands, even vowing to make the god of destruction bow at his feet. As Bardock lies on the ground, Vegeta tells him that if he'll agree to follow his king, his insolence will be forgiven. But Bardock is a warrior, not willing to bend at the knee for anyone, thinking if he just had more strength, their powers aren't too far apart. By sheer luck, he finds the mask he dropped a moment ago. He shouts to the Saiyan King, "Changing history is worthless. We have to come to accept the past, even us proud Saiyans." Slightly disappointed, Vegeta resolves that this low-class wretch would rather choose death, but Bardock tells him, "No, I'm going to stop you," as he puts the mask back on. Bardock feels himself succumbing to its darkness, but fights to resist, making the power his own and going Super Saiyan 3. Bardock looks to take the advantage as Vegeta tells him not to get cocky, but emerging from the shadows, Paragus is able to stab him, finally getting his revenge for dooming he and Broly after all these years. Unfortunately for him, this isn't a death blow, for Vegeta at least, as Paragus is blown away, but perhaps his sacrifice won't be in vain. Back at the Dark Demon Realm, the Dark Lord and Salza head back to their compound to finally grant Mechikabura's wish. We rejoin Vegeta in Hell, where he's still fighting the demon god Shroom, who tells the prince he's looking pretty weak. What happened to all that big talk just a second ago? He comes back at him with a scythe when another portal opens between the two of them. Out a voice shouts, "Super Burning Kamehameha!" The Super Warrior Gotenks arrives just in time to save his friends. Looks like Klonoa summoned Goten as well, as she, Kamel, and Gohan also arrive. With that last attack and now severely outnumbered, Shroom knows things aren't really looking good for him. Running away through a crack in space-time, Gotenks goes to give chase, but Klonoa tells him to wait. It'd be a better idea to pursue him after Vegeta is healed. Not known to be the most mature of warriors, Gotenks argues that the fusion will run out before then if he doesn't go now. A bit annoyed, Klonoa thinks to herself that she only summoned Goten because he was Goku's son. Had she known he was going to have this kind of influence on Trunks, and also noting that he's a bit of a flirt, she might have thought otherwise. While healing Vegeta, she says that she saw most of what happened from the Time Nest. Most of all, they need to hurry to save Goku. Gohan then points out the rift in space-time is closing. Klonoa scolds Kamel, barking, "What do you think we have you around here for? Keep that stupid thing open with your magic." And it doesn't appear Kamel likes being spoken to this way. As he complies, the Supreme Kai of Time reminds Vegeta that what she's doing isn't so much healing as it is reversing the damage, which makes me wonder if it would nullify a Zenkai boost. It also, of course, means Klonoa will take on the damage herself. She warns Vegeta to be careful, as the damage could easily return if he stresses himself. That's when Vegeta asks if she plans on coming too with those wounds. Shocked, she asks, "What, are you worried about me?" Which, no, Vegeta just worries she'll be a burden. But ever upbeat, she says there's nothing to worry about because she can fight too. Once again at the Dark Demon Realm, Mechikabura summons his entire army as he thanks his servants in gathering all 7 Dragon Balls. Soon, the Dark Demon Realm's resurrection will be at hand. The Namekian announces that with Mechikabura's permission, they will begin the ceremony, summoning Shenlong, which by the way is the manga's original name for Shenron. As the Dragon Balls begin to glow, Gravy scolds Shroom for retreating and allowing the Time Patrol a chance to enter the Demon Realm. Then we get a panel where the demons come across really lovably human. Gravy continues to humorously blow his lid over the Time Patrol, as both Shroom and Poutine simultaneously think, "Sheesh, this meathead's really annoying." And Toa checks in on her brother asking if he's feeling okay after everything that's happened. He is, but apologizes for putting her through such a burden. Salza senses the key of the Z Fighters, and they head off to stop them from interfering. Even retrieving Goku, Toa transforms back into her demon god form. The entire demon army also tries to get in on this one, attempting to rush them all at once. Gotenks points out that the sky is darkened, signaling the summoning of Shenlong. He also tells the gang, "Alright, since I showed up late, I'll start by doing all of the work," spewing out a few of his kamikaze ghosts, who are just as dorky as ever, also effective. Seeing Goku in a Super Saiyan 4 form, Vegeta asks Klonoa if it's okay if he not restrict his power here as well. Since the Demon Realm is completely sealed from time, she says he should be fine to go all out, and tells him to go as crazy as he'd like. Exactly what he wanted to hear. Vegeta also transforms, instantly firing a giant ki blast. He tells Gotenks to step aside, his way of fighting is too slow. Joining Vegeta's work ethic, Kamel unleashes a portal sucking in dozens of soldiers, which amazes Gohan. We then see that even Kamel is transformed into his demon god form, while the higher up demons scatter to stop their soldiers from dying. Deborah asks Kamel what he's doing helping the Time Patrol. Toa shouts to the Z Warriors that they're too late, as the ceremony has already begun. An insanely wicked-looking dragon comes forth, asking the summoner to state their wish, as he will grant a single one. Mechikabura states that he has but a single wish, to resurrect himself, the Dark Lord, to the prime of his youth. The Dark Dragon says it can be done, but will take a moment since his power is so great. As the demonic leader lies in wait, Z-Fighters can see the dragon from a distance. With no further hesitation, they rush in to prevent the wish from being granted. Cronoa tells the others to keep the demons busy while she makes her way to Shenlong. Deborah tries to cut her off, but Gotenks is able to handle him. However, Goten and Trunks may be in for a struggle. Surprisingly, Goten tells Trunks to go ahead with the Kaioshin while he holds him off. We then see the flirtatious motives Cronoa was speaking of earlier. Regardless, he does his best to hold him back. Vegeta seems to be faring well against Gravy, but at the most dire moment he bulks, leaving himself open for a clean hit. It seems the damage Kaioshin removed is beginning to return. Goku teleports to his location, preventing him from being flung any further. He tells Vegeta that he's in pretty bad shape too. Without even having to say it himself, Vegeta tells Goku, "Alright, let's do it." Goku shouts to the others to buy them a little time. Thinking, that again, Kamel uses his staff to seal the demons in orbs. While everyone is caught gawking, he tells the Saiyans to hurry up as the seal will only last 20 seconds. But Gravy isn't about to let them fuse if he can help it. Being the meathead he is, he blasts his way out of confinement, launching himself towards them, but it's too late as Gogeta has arrived. The other demons are released from their cages as Gohan tells his brother, "Let's hurry up and beat these guys so we can back up Kaioshin." However, Toa has a very similar thought. It appears everyone is gonna go all out here and now. Kamel says that this is where he takes his leave. His plan to steal the Dragon Balls may have failed, but he can still prevent a full resurrection. He then disappears from the battleground. A few of the other soldiers attempt to get at the Supreme Kai, but Trunks is there to hold him off. Thanks to Kamel, the Dark Army's numbers are down severely. Even still, a ton of soldiers remain. Trunks tells Cronoa that he can only do this for about 10 seconds, so in that time he's going to try to clear a path for her. Going Super Saiyan 3, Trunks blows everybody out of the way as they make their way onto the compound, when unexpectedly, the dragon smacks him aside saying not to interfere. As the regeneration has begun, Mechikabura laughs at the Supreme Kai, telling her that she's done well for making it this far, but she's already too late. Undeterred, she tells him don't count on it. I didn't want to use this if I didn't have to, but I'm going to release all the power I've been storing at once, gambling everything to stop the powerful Dark Lord. Unveiling what she calls the Time Labyrinth technique, she announces the entire demon realm will wander with her forever outside the flow of time, just as Shenlong finishes the wish. In defeat, Mechikabura utters, "You planned for this all along, didn't you, Kaioshin of Time?" Damning both her and the Time Patrol. Fulfilling his purpose, Shenlong departs. Woozy, Trunks asks Cronoa what's going on. Turning to him, she merely asks him to take care of Toki Toki from now on. Trunks shouts for the Supreme Kai as a blinding light fills the area. Everyone is then transported back to the Time Nest, some landing more gracefully than others. In the background, Goku appears to be holding the Namekian, which leads us to wonder if that was a mind-controlled Dende. Vegeta asks what happened to the Kaioshin. Running off, Trunks begins to search through the time scrolls, noticing that the Dark Demon Realm has completely disappeared from history. In an unknown realm, Kamel apologizes to someone in his failure to steal the Dragon Balls. The figure cuts him off mid-sentence, telling him,
"You managed to get Mechikabura, the demon gods, and even the Supreme Kai of Time outside time itself. You've done well. It's time we've made our move."
"Yes, Lord Demigra." Returning to the Time Nest, Trunks goes to hand everybody a time crystal. Cronoa gave them to him before they left for the Demon Realm. They should be able to use them to return to their own timelines. But Vegeta declines, snapping that he won't be needing that. Instead, why don't we find a way to beat these guys? Goku pipes up that he wants to fight them again too. Everyone else seems to be on board as well, saying Cronoa can just send them back after they rescue her. Emotionally moved by their loyalty, Trunks asks the Kaioshin of Time to please wait for us. "We're going to save you. We, the Time Patrol, will!" And that concludes Super Dragon Ball Heroes: The Dark Demon Realm. I personally enjoyed this arc quite a lot, maybe even more so than any Saga in Dragon Ball Super. It's not perfect or anything, and I did find a few things a little annoying. Like, for whatever reason, after the fight with Broly, they just leave Goku to fight another day instead of finishing him off. And I also found myself wondering about halfway through where Demigra went, suspecting that maybe Kamel was actually him in a really bad disguise. After all, they do look quite similar. For a while, I thought that maybe he was a son, but that's never been confirmed either. But I like how it kept me guessing until the very end, waiting for him to show up, only to be used as a device to set up the sequel. Speaking of which, I hear this is continued in Super Dragon Ball Heroes Universe Mission, which is still going on, and I think currently on Chapter 9? That's just what the wiki says. I was personally only able to find up to Chapter 6, so maybe they're counting in the promotional anime as well, and the future chapters that will be. But aside from all that, the only other thing I want to touch on is I didn't at all realize that that might be Dende until the very end. I guess you can just blame me for not realizing the similar designs. Dende, I guess, just doesn't have a unique enough design for me to be able to point him out in a crowd. Something else I realized I did not say in the beginning, this manga is by Yoshitaka Nagayama. I think he did a great job making the series his own in terms of some design choices and series direction. Obviously, he was probably given a pretty solid script on where they wanted to go with all of this, but in terms of some panels going a different direction than Toyotaro or Toriyama, I think he did phenomenal. Now, I also want to give a huge shout out to the Masu group for bringing this to the Western world. They spent hours scanning, cleaning, translating, and in some cases even redrawing this entire series. You can find their individual credits in the description. I would post a link to a copy of their work, but since it's an official release, I can get in a lot of trouble for doing so. But I'm not sure that it's illegal for me to tell you that it's really easy to find. But you guys take care, leave a like, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.